Yes, yes, yes. We're back. We're back, guys. We are back. Guys, as you walk in, please make sure you hit that like button. Please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Please make sure you hit that notification bell on the right hand side. Remember to click all because we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Like always, thank you for tuning in to KR Culture Radio. It is Fresh Start Monday. Hakeem Jordan, what's cracking like and what's cracking like and what is cracking like and crazy weekend?
It was an upsetting weekend. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, this weekend has been. Well, we gonna talk about it, but this weekend's been wild. But hey, man, it's Fresh Start Monday, so we about to get it in. So let's go, let's go, let's go, let's get it.
Now, that by shout out to everybody that's watching us all across the board Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch. Guys, make sure you follow. So very important for you guys to follow so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to those watching us on Rumble and also X. Thank you guys so much for tuning in each and every time we go live. Now, that but shout out to No Chase, the first one in the building. That being said, going on to sports. Man, sports was crazy, Jordan. What's happening when it comes to aspect in the sports world, big dog?
Let's get into it. Let's get into it. You know, NBA playoffs is still going, but we're gonna talk about the big thing of the weekend, which was the NFL draft. Mainly the player Shador Sanders. So we thought he's gonna be drafted in the first round, if not the second round. He got drafted all the way to the fifth round to the Cleveland Browns. And and after that, people was questioning, why did it took so long for him to get drafted. So in the fifth round, but hey, he got drafted. He was happy and everything. And also before that somebody played a prank on him too, which is um very very crazy. That breaks privacy laws because in the NFL, and we found out it was a kid's defensive coordinator for Atlanta Falcons kid and everything. But
Yeah,
other than that,
he's 21. He's actually not a kid.
yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah. They keep no. You're right. They keep calling him that,
They,
but
they keep calling it that Hakeem. I'm like, wait a minute, he's a man. He's 21 years old.
He's 21. He's actually in college. So like,
go ahead. There's two clips. I'm gonna go ahead. Hakeem play the two clip. The two. No, I'm sorry. I think I'm on the wrong one. Yeah, Hakeem, go ahead and play the two clips that I sent you. No, I put one clip that I sent you, and it also showed the quarterbacks that he's going to compete with. And after that, we'll chop it up.
Cleveland Browns select Shador Sanders. The Cleveland Browns select.
You're on mute.
My bad. So yeah, here's the 5 quarterbacks that he's going to be competing with. Even though Deshaun Waters is going to be probably out next year, so he's going to be playing with the other Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, and Dylan Gabriel. So go ahead, Roddy, man. It's been a crazy draft week with Shador Sanders. So what's your take about him being drafted and also the prank situation as well?
No, but the aspect when it comes to Shador Brown getting drafted, a lot of people are speculating that they did this because of the aspect of the viewership, because they knew if he was a first round pick, that would have been in. Nobody would have watched the NFL draft. Now him getting picked last, and I that had that anticipation to the point that you had even President Trump tweeted about what was going on when it came to aspect of the NFL draft. It had a lot of people tune in, which made this the first ever in a very long time NFL draft in history. So therefore, him being drafted to the Cleveland Browns doesn't look good for him because you know why? He never gonna play. Think about it. You have Deshaun Watson, you got Joe Flacco, you had Kenny Pickett, and you had Dalen who got picked before you. He would never see a light of day. I'm just being honest. They're just gonna pretty much send him on the bench. If Cleveland Brown really wanted him, they would have got him for the first round pick and at least give this man an opportunity to show off even during the preseason. But this man might not even see he might not even hell a football in the regular season. I'm just being honest. Um, The Brown is too loaded. Now, when it comes to the aspect of the kid pranking him, um, to me, Hakeem and Jordan, I might not believe it. I think it was a publicity stunt. I don't know why. I think it was all set up. I don't. I know some people are taking it very seriously, but me, I don't, because even Shador Sanders not even speaking about it. Because if it was really, like, to me, if it was really true, remember, this is my opinion. If it was really true, therefore, he would have been saying out a statement like, "Hey, man, what they did was totally wrong. You know, we need to look into it." They're not saying anything about it. I'm just being honest. The kid came out and apologized to me. He had to say nothing. Go right ahead, King. Your commentary.
So just like too, I want to give a perspective that because this particular one, y'all had forced me to watch this stuff, and I had to watch everybody's commentary.
Facts.
Y'all forced me to do that. So what I noticed was a lot of commentators were saying the sentiments that I don't think a lot of teams were very impressed by Shador. A lot of people would say they didn't like his arm strength. A lot of people were saying that they didn't know that his stats were catered by Dion. And a lot of people were saying that was Hunter the reason why he had an arm? Because Hunter, backside, front side, was catching everything. You know what I mean? So a lot of people were stating that. So I don't think a lot of teams was confident in him. As far as this right here, Ron, you do have a point. He might not see the light of day, but I have a slight indication here. Flacco's going to be out soon. Watson is going to get traded because I don't think he hasn't been performing like he's supposed to. Gabriel is a waste of a pick. Just checking his stats. Just looking at his stats. The only issue he really has is Kenny Perkins. That's the only thing I'm saying that. And as far as the prank stuff, that white boy face should be plastered around the U.S. And this is why the internet does not fail. And we found you who is, you goofy.
I want to start with the pranking stuff. So we're in the age that you guys know, especially when it comes to these social media, TikTok and YouTube, people like to prank each other, which, us, we don't allow that and everything. And to order him to, look at his father's iPad because it's very confidential, you'll have like majority of the players' numbers when you call to get drafted and everything. And the thing is, fellas, he had other people's numbers too. But in fact, that he picked Shador Sanders, that he dropped out. He was dropping all the way to the fifth round. He chose to do that and thought he was gonna go viral. And now, his father's in trouble in a way, which he might get fined. And that white man should be, he should get something. I don't know, because that was crazy. So other than that, it's cool. When it comes to the draft of Shador Sanders, when it comes to it, he's a prospect. People say he was the second or third best quarterback in the draft, right behind Cam Ward. So with the idea that, we thought he's going to get drafted in the first round. But once he, kept moving up to the second, third, fourth round, you heard a lot of stories that, his father, Dion, was kind of, back in February and everything, the Tamron Hall saw about, how there's certain teams that he might not play for or anything like that. We're going to choose the best decision with that. And with that, it kind of stuck with NFL teams, especially the teams that needed quarterbacks, like the Cleveland Browns, of course, Pittsburgh Steelers, New Orleans Saints, and also the New York Giants as well. So, and also we heard interviews that, he flopped the New York Giants interview, all that type of things. And it kind of wrote the New York Giants in the wrong way. That's where they drafted their Tristan. I've got to see the quarterback they drafted in the first round, the 25th pick, which I thought that was insane. But when it comes to Shador, I'm looking at these quarterbacks, Deshaun Watson, he's out for the year because he tore his Achilles, and then a few months before that, he tore his Achilles again, so he's out for the year. Dylan Gabriel, I'm with you, Hakeem. Why would you pick him for? He's basically a practice squad type of player. When it comes to Joe Flacco, 2 years ago he did take Cleveland to the playoffs. I can see that. Kenny Pickett, I think Shador Sanders is better than Kenny Pickett. So if the scenario, this is obviously the scenario, I can see that Joe Flacco can play, all the way to week 9, week 10. Joe Flacco will throw interceptions, might make the team lose, and maybe I can see Shador starting later this year. to see how he plays because like I say, 5 quarterbacks. I know you have 5 quarterbacks, but at least I could see two or 3 quarterbacks staying. It's definitely Joe Flacco. We see how Kenny Pickett is. He has been started before, and also Shador. Deshaun is out, and Dylan Gabriel, I think he'd be a practice squad type of quarterback. So hopefully, pray for Shador that he might see some playing time. I hope he does, but we'll just see with that. So, but congratulations, Shador. Should have been drafted in the first, second round, but with this situation, it's just plastering everywhere. And I just hope Shador get his fair chance that we hope that he gets playing for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, shout out to him. He did get picked up. So they see how he perform in the preseason. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to everybody that's watching us all across the board. We really do greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in on this first start Monday. You already know. Moving on to money. Money makes the world goes round, and money makes us look fat in our pockets. So, Jordan, what's kind of the aspect when it comes to financial news?
Let's get into it. So we already know that tariffs are in place. Tariffs war with us in China, and Yahoo Finance really breaks down how tariffs negatively impacts us as Americans. So we're gonna get into it. So go ahead, I can play the clip of Yahoo Finances, and after that, we'll chop it up.
Said it's up to China to de-escalate trade tensions between the two nations in an interview with CNBC Monday morning. The comments come amid mixed messaging on negotiations. President Trump said in an earlier interview he'd spoken to China's Xi Jinping recently, and Chinese officials refuted that claim early Monday. Here to discuss, we've got Justin Wolfers, University of Michigan professor of economics and public policy. Good to have you here with us. I mean, the best way that I was describing this with friends over the weekend was it's kind of like if you're in high school and you're trying to tell your friends like, hey, yeah, me and that person, yeah, we talk. We're trying to see where things go. And then somebody else coming out and say, yeah, no, we don't talk. We're not even acquaintances, or we're not at any juncture to negotiate being friends. So where are we at, and how are you making sense of this?
Look, let's stick with high school, and I'm going to give you the best dad joke I've thought of all day. The problem facing the United States right now is, wait for it, she won't call. Yes, Trump is acting probably a little less maturely than I did when I was 15 and hoping she would call. Look, there's one part you can laugh about this. He's saying that she keeps calling. She denies it. One of them is an inveterate liar. The other is leading one of the world's largest economies. But the real shame, and the thing that makes this very different than high school, is when she won't call in high school, my social life is on hold. Here, what's happening is Trump is imposing 145% tariffs on Americans, effectively cutting them off from an important and needed source of inputs for production of goods that we consume. Our supply chains are integrally linked, and he's just smashed that up while he sits by the phone.
I want to talk to you, Justin, about something that the president posted on Truth Social this weekend and reiterated in interviews. He talked about this idea of cutting income taxes on Truth Social, saying taxes will be substantially reduced, maybe even completely eliminated, especially for those making under $200,000 a year. To what extent, Justin, is the market discounting a potential cut to taxes, a potential cut to income taxes that could lead to some type of rebound in consumer spending and therefore a lift in the stock market? How much do you buy the sweetener of tax cuts coming?
Look, the president's lying. It's that simple. There's no bill, there's no process, there's no proposal, there's nothing that's gone up to Congress. But more importantly than that, there's a fundamental incoherence. He says in that Truth Social post, I'm going to get so much revenue that I can cut your taxes. In order to get revenue, we have to keep tariffs high. He also says over the weekend, I'm meeting with Xi talking about reducing tariffs. If he makes deals, which apparently is what he's recently been claiming is the goal for his administration, those deals will be to reduce tariffs. If that's the case, the tariff revenue will be awfully close to zero. So the president's got a choice: make deals, which gives American businesses access to a global market and gives Americans access to purchase stuff from all over the world, or stick with very high tariffs and get some revenue out of it at least. You cannot have both. It's incoherent. And that's the problem with this whole tariff policy. What the president wants has changed from day to day. Is it about national defense? Is it about onshoring manufacturing? Is it about raising revenues? Is it about making deals? Is it about... it changes. And the problem is, if you had different objectives, that would lead you towards different types of tariff policies. And what we have instead is an incoherent mix of all of the above. But more importantly, businesses need to plan for the future.
Right.
Our foreign partners need to know how to or whether to negotiate with this White House.
So Justin,
if Trump's out there saying, I'm going to get tons of revenue, then he's saying, I'm not making a deal. So why should they even turn up to negotiate?
So let's dig into what you're saying, though, because there is that reconciliation bill that does include the potential extension of tax cuts that were already in place, to your point. But Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent told our network...
Wait. That bill has nothing to do with tax cuts for working and middle-class Americans,
No,
which
I
is what the
understand
president
that.
promised.
I know
that bill
Justin,
is tax cuts for the rich.
So, well, talk to me about this. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent telling our network that tax cuts and deregulation from the administration is being discounted by investors. What is your reaction to that?
Investors are responding to nothing but chaos because that's all Bessent's giving us. Look, if you can figure out what they're doing, then you're far better at this game than me. But I've been reading everything that's come out of the administration. They can't tell us what tariffs are for. They can't tell us what revenues they're going to get. And they're in the midst of trying to have a budget-busting bill while at the same time we're looking at US bonds being sold off around the world. It's incoherent.
And so with that barrage of information that has continued to come out of the White House, what do you believe the continued net impact will be on the consumer, and how will that pass through to what businesses are both forecasting and their reaction function of what's playing out?
Yeah, so if you look at any survey of what Americans think, how they're feeling about the economy, they're feeling miserable. We haven't seen consumer confidence fall as far or as fast as it has over the last 2 months. We've seen expectations of the unemployment rate skyrocket. We've seen expectations of inflation skyrocket. We've seen business confidence plummet. And so what does that mean? It means that I think most families are sitting around the table worried about the future of the economy. This is a conversation no family was having 3 months ago, but now they're like, if there's a recession, how should we act? Well, when you start worrying about that, then you start thinking, well, maybe I'll put off maybe I should save some money for a rainy day. And if that's the case, instead of making a big purchase, I'm going to hold my money tight, which means spending dries up. And if consumer spending dries up, that is the first domino that falls in creating the next recession.
Yeah, so summer is around the corner. So far, with China, there's still no deal yet. So a lot of Americans are worried. So it might be a crazy summertime. So go ahead, Ronnie, man. What's your take?
Yeah, the situation with China and United States is gonna be battled on for, I think, even more several months, because they're just trying to find like a decent balance when it comes to the aspect of these tariffs. Now, of course we want to speak about what people think about Trump 100 days so far. However, right now these tariffs are affecting a lot of Americans, and certain stuff they want to get, they're not able to get because it comes from overseas. And this is why we gotta produce it when it comes to the aspect of the United States. If we have certain factories here in the United States, we won't be worrying about is it coming in or not. But therefore, we got to worry about, it's coming from Canada, Mexico, China, Thailand, Taiwan. That's the big debate about. And so right now, Trump and his administration team are trying to figure out a balance when it comes to aspect, okay, what can we bring here and what can be here to stay? The United States is one of the biggest consumers in the world. Everybody knows this. Therefore, we have to be more smart and more strategic on how we do things when it comes to our money and our pockets. Go right ahead, Akeem.
Brother, you spoke so well, and I'm just piggybacking, and we're gonna, for people who doesn't understand, when that London boy spoke, he said we're being cut off. The problem is, because we consumers, that puts us in danger. How much access do the United States have to China? They only buy 144 billion stuff from us. We buy over 400 billion things from them, and that's a problem. And they don't play fair. They take technology. They take IP. Keep your foot on their necks. If it was me, 400 terrorists. I give a heck about them. A lot of people are complaining about this and say we're hurting. We should be hurt. Why are we depending on everybody else when America can make every single thing that we need? But the problem is y'all like cheap stuff and companies like cheap labor.
And I think it's here in America, the mindset of capitalism and also us, you know, we spend. And, you know, a lot of people, you know, they buy their stuff like from Shein, and there's another website too that, you know, especially from China, that, you know, that company's talking about, you know, raising their prices because of China and everything. So, I get, you know, people should be worried about, you know, in the summertime and how, you know, terrorism is going to affect people and everything. It's just like, you know, we know that, you know, Trump is in office, you know. We already know what we've seen, you know, with, you know, China and everything. So it looks like they're not going to talk, they're not going to budge anytime soon. So you might see this going on probably in the summertime, maybe longer than that. So people just got to be smart what you're going to buy, you know. You know, there's a Salvation Army right down the street. You know, if you can't afford some things, you know, go to the Salvation Army. You know, there's nothing wrong with going to the Salvation Army. Discount stores, there's nothing wrong with that. And just be smart with your money, you know. And that's the best way I can see. Just hang on tight, and hopefully, anytime soon, China, Donald Trump, and Xi can make a deal as before the summertime hits. But if not, people just stay calm and just be wise with your money.
Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to everybody that's watching us all across the board, Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Now that shout out to those watching us on Rumble and also X. Now that shout out to the lovely Bobby Bryan that just pretty much just tuned in and hit us up in the chat. Hey, Bobby, how's it going? Moving on to hip-hop. Jordan, what's coming on when it comes to aspect of hip-hop news?
Oh, we got some fantastic news coming out from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees. So we have two groups that are going to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and that is Outkast and Salt and Pepper. They will be inducted this year in 2025 Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So go ahead, I can play the clip, and after that, we'll chop it up.
Let's get right into it, guys. I got a pop start sneak peek for you. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just announced the lineup of inductees for their 2025 class. Let's take a look together at who made the cut. Chart topper Cyndi Lauper. Ooh. Knew that when the show started this morning. Duo Outkast, Soundgarden, the White Stripes, hard rock group Bad Company, 60s rock icon Chubby Checker.
Let's do the twist.
And Joe Cocker. There are your lists. Bad Company, Chubby Checker, and Outkast. They were first-time ballots, the inductees that made it in, so congratulations to them. Nice. That's also bad news for Oasis, Black Crowes, Billy Idol, Fish, groups like that were on the list. They just didn't make the wait.
But they can come back.
Sure, they have to wait another year for that. There is more news. Salt and Pepper are among the recipients of the Musical Influence Award this year.
Oh,
Congratulations. Yep.
Nice.
The induction ceremony is set. That'll take place out in Los Angeles, November 8th. At the Peacock Theater, so congratulations.
Any snubs? Any?
Well, no, I mean, people are waiting for Billy Idol to get in. Everybody's hot on the group that they like the most. They think it's time. It's like sports, but
yes,
gotta wait for another year.
All right. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget you.
Yeah, so there you have it. You know, Outkast. It was first time ballot. They got in, and then Salt and Pepper. I think they took a couple times ballots, but they finally got in too. So. This year, you know, we got two of the legendary groups of Salt and Pepper, and the Outkast is going in. So go ahead, Ronnie, man. What's your take?
I'm so happy for Salt and Pepper. You know, that to me, that was them girls are truly all legends, and for having to be in one of the icons is really, really dope. I'm so excited. To be honest, I'm just so excited. That's the one thing I'm most excited about. Cause I first I was like, oh man, they're gonna just keep they no more regular people. But when they nominate Salt and Pepper in there, I was like, good. We're starting to see some change when it comes to aspect of music and entertainment. I'm so excited. Go ahead, Hakeem, your commentary.
I think this was long overdue. Salt and Pepper should have been. I wonder why they didn't induct Queen Latifah, MC Lyte. I don't know if they're already in there, but Roxanne Shante. These are the women who set the foundation for women's hip hop. So it's good to see that. But I'm also glad Outkast was in it. And For a lot of people, y'all might be too young to know Chubby Checker. He's a singer. That's like your daddy in the music. You know what I mean? But a lot of these people, I love to see inducted. So it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Outkast, we kind of figured, you know, they was going to, they were first time ballot, they was going to end it, you know, because, you know, Outkast, they are one of the amazing rap groups in rap history, you know, and you cannot deny that. Also, Salt-N-Pepa, finally they got in, you know, because they should have got, I think it was 25 years. They should have, I think the first ballot they got in was back in 2020 or 2021. I might be wrong about that, but finally seen a female group in there. You know, I think I'm not Missy Elliott. She's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I think Queen Latifah's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame too. I'm not 100% sure. MC Lyte is, I believe she's on Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So, but yeah, it's about time that Salt-N-Pepa got in there. So, you know, so I think the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame starts in the summertime, I believe. I can't remember what date, but yes, congratulations to Outkast and Salt-N-Pepa.
Yeah, I would say shout out, y'all. And I forgot Missy Elliott is in the Rockwood Hall of Fame. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to everybody that's watching us all across the board. Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch. Shout out to those watching us on Rumble and also X. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this Fresh Start Monday. You already know it is Fresh Start Monday, so we got to whip some things up to get you guys started to go on during the week. So go ahead and enjoy what's happening when it comes to trending news.
Let's get into it. Let's talk about the main topic that we see. So it's been over 100 days since Trump is in office. And so what we're going to do is, you know, he did a lot of things, you know, with the tariffs. Also, he gave money to the HBCUs. With the deportations and everything. So today, you know, we're going to give our grade of how Trump did in his first 100 days. So go ahead, Hakeem. We got 2 clips for the people. So go ahead and play that, and after that, we'll chop it up.
For you about the president's first 100 days in office. And it shows a majority of Americans believe he's putting too much focus on tariffs. 62% of Americans, to be exact. And 69% say he's not focusing enough on lowering prices. CBS News Elections and Surveys Executive Director Anthony Salvanto brings us an explanation of that and more.
Can you judge the Trump administration after 100 days? Well, a slight majority of Americans says, yeah, that's enough time. But there's big partisan splits on that. In particular, a lot of Republicans, a lot of those who approve of the president say, no, it's not enough time just yet. And maybe that's because overall, a lot of Americans believe that the president is making major changes to how the government works, big changes to how the U.S. economy works as well. All this part of the latest CBS News poll at 100 days. Now, the big question has been about the economy. Coming in to this administration, a lot of Americans said they felt that Donald Trump's policies would make them financially better off. But here's what's happening now. We've got a story about focus, where you've got over 2/3 of Americans say they don't think the administration is putting enough focus on lowering prices. At the same time, similar number feels like the administration putting too much focus on tariffs and trade. And that is a concern because what they perceive about prices has a lot to do with how they rate the president on handling inflation and handling the economy. So when you go and look at those numbers for him, well, take a look. His approval on handling inflation is now down to 38%. His approval on handling the economy has also ticked down. I mentioned that disconnect about which way his policies would affect your finances. And note this split. More say that those policies have made them financially worse off than better. So that's part of the story on the economy. But take a look at what happens on immigration and on the president's plans for deportation, because he does get net approval, as he has throughout the term, on his program to deport immigrants who are in the U.S. illegally. Some of this, though, in the details, we do see more mixed and some more pushback, if you will. You want to look at whether you think what should happen, rather, if the Trump administration is trying to deport a non-U.S. citizen, and 2/3 believe that that person should get a court hearing first before being able to be deported. And take a look at this difference. Overall, Americans do not think it would be acceptable if a legal U.S. resident were mistakenly detained as part of that overall deportation program. The president's political base, MAGA Republicans, are a little more saying that that's acceptable, but overall that majority saying it's not. And that speaks to another theme, perhaps, of these first 100 days, and that is the president's powers, rather. And let me show you that. We do see still support, if you will, for the idea of working with Congress, more so to pass laws, 3/4 saying that, than just using executive orders to change regulations. Also, big majority saying that were the Supreme Court to rule against any of the president's policies, that he ought to follow that. So that's part of the dynamic, that presidential powers dynamic. So many big issues. Americans see big changes in that first 100 days.
So yeah, so that's why he put it's 100 photos of Isaac Tang from the front of the lawn. Oh, that's crazy. Trump is not playing. So when it comes to the deportation, he got out the criminals out of here ASAP. But go ahead, Ronnie, man. What is your take on what job do you think he did on his first 100 days as his second term as being president?
Yeah, not only that, but shout out to Mimi, that's also in the building. Co-host of the Shiesty Vendor is also in the building. Not only that, shout out to White Hot, who's also in the building as well. So Trump, 100 days. I'm just being honest. His approval rate is going down because the aspect is he's focusing on the wrong thing. People are electing him to be in office for the number one thing is to fix the economy. The economy is not going the way it was going under the Biden administration. So Trump made a promise to the American people, say, hey, when I come into office, my whole duty is to make sure to undo everything Biden has done, and not only that, but focus on the economy so we can have better job, better way of living, and better opportunity for American people. Now, right now, when it comes to the aspect of these tariffs, he's not holding up. I'm being honest, Jordan Hakeem's not holding up his end of the bargain. People are upset at him. They are frustrated with him, and now that they keep saying, I'm being honest, we can do it to Biden and Barack Obama, we can do it to Trump too. Why he's always tweeting about certain things, especially when it comes to the NFL draft. He used to be focused on, hey, how can we have a better day when it comes for tomorrow? The American people are frustrated with him. They say, hey, the housing market, it seems like it's about to get ready to crash. People not having good job opportunity. People are being deported. Hakeem Jordan, what is going on with President Trump? Is he losing himself? Is he focusing on the wrong thing? Or do you have a plan? Because right now, the Department of Education is not getting along with President Trump and also the IRS. So that's why his approval rate is going down. But however, I think it's still hope for the American people. I think he's just trying to figure things out. My thing is he was just focused on more on what Biden administration have done and try to remove it and implement his own thing, his own strategy. And it's going to take some time, folks. It's only 100 days. To me, now, if it's at the end of the year and still stuff, you don't see no change and no improvement, then I'm going to go in my bag. But the first 100 days, he still has some more work he needs to do. And I think he didn't focus on the economy. Go right ahead, Hakeem.
So for a lot of people don't know, it's going to take more than 4 years to fix 100 years of mess up. It's going to take 10 years or another 8 years to mess up to fix 4 years. So
Hakeem, he going to be elected again?
No, he won't.
That's what it sounds like he's saying.
He won't be elected again, but there's a lot of these policies that he's doing. I do support that. We shouldn't be playing with nobody else but America. And if you want to get access to this country and this consumers, you're gonna have to pay. And with the immigration stuff, you already know I support that. So, but it's just going to take time. And I guess when we revisit this and things start happening good, then we'll throw it in people's face.
I know a lot of people are really, really mad that when it comes to their student loans, starting May 5th, people that was defaulted, they got to pay their student loans.
Yep. Good point, Jordan. People are mad about that. I forgot about that.
Don't play your student loans. It might be some ways God Smith's coming out from your.
Biden lied to y'all.
So right now, his approval rate is going way down. When it comes to the deportations, as you can see that all the people that he took out, they did some, they're criminals. He took them out. Okay, cool. The terrorists and everything, he got to do better than that. He got to talk to the China ASAP. That's just me, to work out something and everything, because it's like I know you're trying to focus on terrorists with China, but it's kind of like you having these Americans kind of going cold turkey in a way, because they're so used to buying stuff from China in every way, and they're not used to something like that. And remember, guys, almost a month ago, I think over a month ago, you had people rallying in major cities about how terrible Trump is doing so far, and that was like his first 70, 80 days, something like that already in. But right now, like I said, he did giving out money to HBCUs, which we're grateful for that, because they're if you a lot of guys don't know, they are slowly that there's some HBCUs are closing down little by little. A lot of people don't know that, but they are. But when it comes to this, like I said, I'm gonna judge your whole 4 years. 100 days. It's just that's what a little bit more than 3 months and everything. So in the future and the better, hopefully he gets the the terrorists done and everything like that. When it comes to also bring more jobs here in the United States ASAP. When it comes down, drill more oil here. I might hear anything about that, do that and everything. So, and also with he got a problem with the Shedeur Sanders stuff and everything. I know you're watching NFL whatever, but you should be focused on other things as being the president and everything. So, but yeah, just like I said, I judged 4 years, and and if you and also that if you do something terrible too, I don't care if you're Joe Biden, Clinton, whatever, I'm gonna get on yourself and everything. So, Donald Trump needs to still do a better job, and we're just gonna go by there. But right now, it's not looking good right now. It's not. I ain't gonna lie, it's not looking good. So you better hurry up. But I say hurry up, but hurry. Like when it comes to the terrorists, please make a deal somehow, because I know people in here, United States, they're gonna go loco if the terrorists don't get done. That's how I see it.
Like that, but shout out to Chicago Riddle. I was also in the building, and also Mean Street. But I can go ahead and read some of the comments people had when it comes to aspect.
Chicago Real Estate, you should be able to see a direction, a core structure of a plan in 100 days. He says, in Mean Street, in most cases, I probably identify more as a Democrat. It just seems that the economy does better under Democrats than the Republicans. Trump, nah, man.
I know, but Chicago Real also made a good point. Remember, Trump have the House, the Senate, and the Supreme Court. He should be able to do a lot of things when it came to the aspect of the economy, but his objective was the immigrants, and he's on the wrong thing. People elected him in for the number one thing was to get the economy back into shape.
Hey, Chicago Rilla, I want him to. We ain't speaking no Mandarin. I want him to keep our foot on their necks. We keeping our foot on the Mandarin boys' necks.
But because I want to make, because we had to make it clear that a lot of people were saying, we over here, we Trumpers. But I told them, even though we may support Trump a certain thing, if he's doing something wrong, we're gonna get on him about. And right now, his thing is on the wrong thing, and especially when it comes to aspect of student loans, people are upset about that as well. Because Trump promised, they're making promises about these student loans, and they're not holding on to it when it comes to aspect of these American people. And I told people, they're never gonna get rid of those student loans, man. They're making money off of that. Go ahead.
And listen here, Mean Street he said Trump deals are in his head. China has the cart. That is the problem.
Yeah,
that is the problem, Mean Street. G. China shouldn't have the card. They were around here, couldn't even eat. And we've been the strong. Now they're going to beat us in this game. No, I say keep their foot on their necks. We want them to get bankrupt. America forever.
You like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to everybody watching us all across the board. We really do greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in on this fresh start Monday. Moving along to other trending news. Go right ahead, Jordan.
All right, let's talk about Pastor T.D. Jakes. So he announced yesterday, I believe, that he will be stepping down as lead pastor at the Potter House. A lot of people know that he had a health scare last year, and, you know, it was very, very scary. It happened while he was doing the sermon. And he announced it the other day that he will be stepping down as lead pastor. So go ahead, Hakeem, play the clip, and after that, we'll chop it up.
It was about time, though.
I cannot afford, especially after November, to risk something happening to me and you be sheep without a shepherd. I cannot afford to let all the work of all the saints living and dead to hold this so tight, so long, that I wither away. So I'm suggesting to you, I'm recommending to you that you receive Pastor Torrey and Pastor Sarah. But I cannot afford, especially after November, to risk something happening to me and you be sheep without a shepherd.
Hey, a lot of people didn't. We're gonna talk about it.
We're gonna talk, yeah. But a lot of people don't know too. He's also starting a new business venture too. He's about to start a new podcast.
Oh no, but this is what's happening, right? This is what's happening. A lot of people don't like it because they say, remember, he leaned the church over to a woman, so that's becoming a very controversial thing. Now, Pastor Torrey and Pastor Sarah, I'm not gonna lie, I saw them live. Pretty blessed individual. And, you know, I also saw TJ as well as live, was really dope too as well. So here's the thing: when it comes to the aspect of leaving your sheep without a shepherd, he made a great point, and that's a whole part of being a leader. A leadership is to be able to leave it over to your next fellow person that you feel that's able to take over your leadership after you're gone. That health scare TDJs have, I think it woke them up. It made them realize, like, wait a minute, I'm getting older in age. I'm not able to do certain things that I'm used to doing. So therefore, I have to anoint someone to be able to take over my leadership when I'm gone. And to me, kudos to that. And you know, Pastor Sarah, I'm being honest, a lot of people loved her. A lot of women love her. A lot of women support her. A lot of people support TJ's decision when allowing her to be the leader of the Potter House. Hakeem Joy, if you ever go there, it's amazing, amazing. Beautiful crowd, beautiful everything. Everything is glorious. However, the biggest scrutiny where we're having right now, a lot of men are facing today, they're saying, why are you leaving this responsibility over to a woman than over to a man? That's the issue a lot of people are. That's the conversation a lot of people are having today. But and pushback with that is, do you allow your children to go to school and get taught by a woman?
That's true.
There's no pushback on that. That's all I'm gonna say on that aspect of that when it comes to men and women, who should be the leader of the church. Women are teaching your kids anyway while you go to work. You ain't stopping that. Go right ahead, Hakeem.
I'm a little bit toxic, and I said we need a man in the church. I said I'm gonna be a little bit chauvinistic today, though. God has made me.
Go ahead, Hakeem. Go in your bag.
God has made me.
Your bag.
Say, train your Joshua. Listen, Mimi, I'm gonna be a little bit toxic today. You need a man in the church, girl. So you know what I'm saying? You need God come through me. And y'all gotta listen to the man. I gotta say.
When it comes to TD Jakes, you know, It's good that he's stepping down. That health scare that he had, it was scary, yo. It happened in live and everything. A lot of people was worried. We was worried, and so him, passing it off to some. TD Jakes, when it comes to him, think about passing this to his, what is this? His daughter-in-law? His his leadership to the daughter, to the daughter-in-law, So with this, I think TD Jakes, he thought about who could have, he thought deep in the heart of who could I pass it to and everything, and he believes that she can do it. So if she can believe she can do it, she can do it. It's just how she handles it and everything. There are going to be some maybe a little bit of scrutiny, it's a little bit of criticism because of when it comes to talking being in the summer, it should be a man doing it. But maybe she can handle it, maybe she can't. But when it comes to TD Jakes, man, God bless you, man.
Hey.
And hopefully you already made the right decision, but more prayers to you.
Hey, I want to send this to Mean Streets in Chicago Rilla. The problem is they own the manufacturing. We're about to change that. The sun will never set on America. I want you to know that we are a superpower.
And you don't want to answer me the question with you like ignorance truly is bliss. That's for you.
Run. You see how toxic I was. I just ignored what she just said.
Right.
Like I didn't even pay attention to that. And listen, that's the power of being a man and God working through the man.
Right.
Listen, God working through the man.
Yeah, no, but I ain't gonna lie. What Pastor Torre and Sarah, they both gonna bring new people into the church because people love them. People love them. They love what they bring, that type of energy. And she is for this generation. I'm just being honest. That old generation is pretty much gone. She's pretty much for this generation. And the generation is, I can't enjoy. I'm being honest. Men are not at the church. The women are.
Listen, you get you another man back in the house, men to come back to the church. When we start preaching what
that's man preachers, man still not coming back. Look, even George, man still not coming back to the church.
Proverbs,
let's be honest.
Women, you bow down and listen to your man and respect your man.
Nah. Them days are old and gone, I'm being honest. Man, they don't even want to step foot in the church.
I'm with the movement. We bringing real masculinity back. We bringing real relationships back. We bringing real marriages back. Men need to be dominant in every aspect of life. That's how life gets better. Praise God. Hallelujah.
Like, share, subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side so you never miss it when we go live. Shout out to everybody that's watching us all across the board. We really do greatly appreciate you guys for tuning in on this Fresh Start Monday. Go ahead. Moving along to more trending news. Go right ahead, Jordan.
Let's talk about Dr. Umar Johnson. We haven't talked about him in a while. So he had posted on his YouTube page earlier that his FDMD Academy School is going to open soon. I don't know when soon it is. It could be tomorrow. It could be next month. It could be the next 5 to 10 years. We don't know. But go ahead, Hakeem. This clip is kind of long, so I'll let you know when to stop it.
Okay.
And after that, we'll chop it up.
He said Mimi said that was the power of bliss.
Big brother Dr. Umar Ifatunde Oguntade coming to you live and direct from the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. Hit your PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. We trying to get the school done. We got some floors to do, brothers and sisters. A little bit of IT work. We're going to pop the boards back up top in the ceiling. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing to pop the boards back up once the IT work. And then we're going to get these floors done. We're going to get these floors done.
Hey, Jordan, we can't be doing videos about Umar. We're trying to interview this guy.
We got to cover these floors up with some blue tile to match the blue walls, brothers and sisters. We're going to cover the floors up with some blue tile to match the blue walls, brothers and sisters. We working. We working.
Yes.
Institutions.
Hallelujah.
We need them institutions, brothers and sisters.
Look at
Grand
Joe
opening
Y'all heard him
volunteer
say the
team.
yellow hallways
look
is
crazy.
There will
That
be
is
an
crazy
FDMG
word.
Grand Opening Festival volunteer
went too
team.
African with
Do
that.
you want to be a volunteer? If you're not a donor, you can't even come to the fest, so don't you even worry about it. Do you want to be a volunteer, brothers and sisters? You heard what I said, ladies. Date me in pairs. I'm not dating single women no more. It got to be two of you.
Hallelujah.
I only date the queens in pairs now. You got to already have your co-wife. Don't waste my time. You got to already have your co-wife. Don't waste my time. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
That shit is crazy work, though.
I can't wait till
I ain't
we
gonna lie,
cross
the school do look clean though.
I can't wait
look
till we
clean.
cross the finish line, brothers and sisters.
He's almost done.
Independent school, independent money. It's the only way to do it. Independent school, independent money. King Kong consciousness. Let's cross the finish line, brothers and sisters. Let's cross the finish line, brothers and sisters. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. Hit the PayPal, paypal.me/FDMG Academy. 6 years of hell, but we almost there. Thank you to my donors. 6 years of hell. Yes, the water working, brothers and sisters. Everything's working at the Frederick Douglass. We got Central Air. We got Central Air.
Man.
The air is on right now, brothers and sisters. Central Air. Oh, yes, brothers and sisters.
He just hit the pay. He even
The
hit the
time
cash.
has
He
come
just hit the PayPal.
for my donors to get what they paid for. A fully functioning, operating, and open school. Oh, yes. Hit the PayPal. Hit the PayPal, Africans. I want to thank my continental Africans for donating. I want to thank my Australian Africans for donating. I want to thank my Africans in Asia and Europe for donating. My Canadian Africans, my South Pacific, my Caribbean Africans for helping us out. Oh, yes. Central and South American Africans for helping us out. This school was built by the African race, brothers and sisters. This school was built by the African race. I
Yes,
need
sir.
a sister to come and give me a back massage every day at work, and I need a chef to come and bring me my food. Where's Chef Barbie at? Where my chefs at? I need a Monday chef, a Tuesday chef, a Wednesday chef, a Thursday chef, and a Friday chef. And when we have weekend events, I need a weekend chef, brothers and sisters.
Oh my goodness, Umar is crazy.
yes.
Stop it, man. You can stop it. You can
Hey,
I give you this.
Oh,
Hey, that's
yes.
wow. Umar is crazy.
King Kong ain't got
Shout out to
nothing
Umar,
on me.
man.
So, you know, we talked about this before.
Oh, my
I mean,
God.
he got every room with like a rainbow color in there. So, go ahead, Ronnie, man. Where's your take, man? He says it's coming out soon. You think it's gonna come out soon?
It's gonna come out when Trump will get reelected again. No, but all serious tip. You know, I love Umar. I would say he got that energy, he got that fire. As you can see, very well spoken. And he know how to captivate the crowd. You see, he got us laughing. I ain't gonna lie, he almost made me want to donate to his PayPal.
Oh, my
I'm
God.
just being honest. He's very smooth talking, very intellectual guy. He knows what he's talking about. And he painted a story, just like them walls. So therefore, Umar, will he get the school accomplished? Probably so. But I tell you that when Trump get reelected, I think the reason why it's taking so much time because people stop believing in his dream. Because he said that 10 years ago he was gonna build the school. The school should be already done. I'm not gonna lie. If the school's already done, staffing and stuff, I understand gonna probably take a while. But get the school building done, and people are like, okay, I won't mind donating my time and effort to become a teacher after school program and stuff like that. But he's not. The walls are painted. Looks nice though, but the ceiling, everything else is not done. Like, come on, Umar. And Umar makes a lot of money. People further with that. Umar makes a lot of money. He does a lot of touring, a lot of traveling, a lot of speaking engagement. The school should have been done 10 years ago. Go ahead, Hakeem, your thoughts. That's your mentor right there. Go ahead.
Listen, I used to like him until I realized the man full of shit. You know what I mean? So listen. If he does get the school open, because it looked like he said it's not going to last a year. And I'm going to tell you why. He has no clear distinction or no background on how to keep it running. How are you going to get money every month to maintain it? It took him 6 years just to get to this point. It's going to take at least a year for it to close.
I don't know you guys do this, like he does this maybe once or twice a year that he'll walk into his school and it's walk and show everybody, hey, look at my school now. And he'll, and he did this for a long time. Like I said, you'll see him painting, certain rooms and everything. But when it comes to the floors and the ceilings, it looks the same and everything. Sometimes, you go in there, the lights will be on, the lights will be off. But my thing is just like, if you're gonna hire teachers, how you gonna pay the teachers? Because I know you're gonna pay some type of tuition to the parents and everything. So I know that's how they're gonna keep the school open and everything. But the thing is like you're gonna need money from the state, which what I'm hearing, you have. I don't know how your finances is and everything, but I don't know how that's gonna work. But you definitely need money to fund your school. That's how most of these, public schools, charter schools, and private schools, they get money from the state. They don't do that with not federal no more because the board has cases closed down. So they get money from the state. So if Dr. Umar can't get money from the state, there's no chance that his school's gonna open. I love the brother.
No, but he don't want no money from the state. That's the issue, Jordan. He don't want no money from the state, no money from the government. He wants this to be all black owned. I mean, black people invest into it.
Then it need to be a private school then.
Right.
I think it is. Oh, you make it a public school or private?
I don't know what that's the thing. We don't see the books. We don't what clear goal he has. Exactly. Listen, most schools who are successful stay open for a long time. Like, True. How is he going to get funding every month for the lights, the water, to get eat? Then he wants people to come in and volunteer. You got to pay people.
Books,
so
computer,
upgrade stuff. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so if this is truly a nonprofit and he's going to make money, or if you want to turn it into a charter school, you're going to have to follow some certain guidelines to keep a school open. You know what I mean? And keep, your membership. Yeah, he said PayPal is high.
Shout out to Joe. Don't hurt him. Blessed to be upon you. His PayPal is high.
Yeah.
That was I don't know what he's doing. What his whole idea is, but he'll speak about it soon. But remember, Jordan, you stated his goal is to get the school open by August. You said this year. That's his goal.
Last year. I said it last year. That was last year. It wasn't. It was last year.
Yeah, that was last year.
That was last year.
And then on top of that, he wants to have a party, a festival. Forget the festival, get the school open and try to keep it open for a year. As black people, we always want a party. Oh, a grand opening. You remember that? It's not, oh, look, Chicago, he said governor is right. It's not a
so it is private. That was it. He want black. So like a charter school. So pretty much black people, we want black people to invest in it.
He said, how do Catholic schools operate? Funny you say
they operate through the church.
To the church. So Catholic schools are funded by the church and are funded by the parents. Because it is a private school, so they do pay a tuition. So the church subsidizes a certain amount of money. And I think since they're a 501c, if I'm not mistaken, Chicago, is how do Montessori get funded? Now that would be something that I need to research. A Montessori.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that one you got to.
I think Montessori's are publicly funded, if I'm not mistaken. They have to be publicly funded. But just a point, Chicago. In your opinion, have you heard? Like, don't get me wrong. We love the concept, the idea of him opening up a school, Chicago. We love the idea of him opening up a school. But has he sit here and have a clear plan on how he's going to keep this thing running and funded, how he's going to pay the teachers, Chicago, how he's going to be able to pay the taxes on it, if he's even a nonprofit, because I don't know if he has a 501c or is he going to get donors. So that's the question I'm having for you. Have you heard him with a clear plan on funding on a consistent month basis?
I haven't. And the amount of lies he does, he don't really talk about it. The only thing he was talking about was his daughter, Trump, Kanye West, Diddy. He don't really talk too much about this. This is the first time I'm hearing about the school. He talking about it now. It's been a while.
So look at this, Ron, and I want to land it on this point, and this was Chicago. Jewish people go to school.
Yes.
That school is completely funded by the synagogue and by Jewish people. So I'm wondering, can we galvanize people enough to support our schools and keep it funding for the next 100 years? Not the next 10 or 2, for the next 100 years. He said, I love the idea of a black-run school, but running it efficiently is a different story. Thank you, Joe. Don't hurt him.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm trying to say? And there's some points where you need the government, in a sense, to back, even with HBCUs. You know what I mean? Oh, Mimi's with the left hook. Montessori schools can be funded through tuition, public funds, or a combination of both, and may utilize philanthropy supports and grant. Click. Thank you. So it's just like a private school,
Yeah, pretty much just like a private school. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. Don't forget to hit that notification bell on the right-hand side. Remember, we do go live each and every day at 7 o'clock Eastern time. Like always, shout out to everybody that was here watching us all across the board: Facebook, Instagram, Kick, and also Twitch. Special shout out to those watching us on Rumble, and also X. Shout out to Mimi, the co-host of the Shiesty Avengers. Guys, a trivia game is coming up, part 2. If you need more information, guys, please go over there to the Shiesty Avenger page. So you talk brief everything about it. Or if Mimi can, you drop the link in the chat so people can go and check it out if they want to be able to participate in the trivia. Battle of the Sexes part 2. Shout out to Mimi that's in the building. Now that shout out to Chicago Rilla, guys. Make sure you go over there and subscribe to his channel as well. He is a dope content creator. Normally he don't really go live too much on YouTube. He go live mostly on Instagram. But go over there and support the brother. Chicago Rilla is in the building. Shout out to Joe No Hurt Him. It's also in the building as well. Blessed be upon you. Shout out to Mean Street. It's also in the building. Now that shout out to shout out to the lovely Bobby Bryan, who's also watching us right now on Facebook, holding us down. Shout out to Gimbel right now watching us on Instagram. Thank you so much for tuning in. Shout out to No Chaser, who's also in the building. Shout out to everybody that was here watching us all across the board. I can and Joe, we gotta get love to people that be watching all across the board and also watching us on our replay. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really do greatly appreciate you guys always. Guys, make sure you go to Chaos Culture Radio description. In the description where you can find the Chaos Culture Radio store, where we have the Chaos Culture Radio hats, the t-shirt, the coffee mug, you name it. It's all in the Chaos Culture Radio store, and also the sweaters for those that be in the code. Go check it out. It's in the Chaos Culture Radio store. And also, guys, make sure you go to Chaos Culture Radio community tab. In the community tab, where you can find Prince Hakeem's new book. It's here. It's here. It's here. It is here. Raising Kings. Produced, written by this man right here at the bottom, Hakeem Bello. So guys, go ahead and check it out. And also got his pictures at the bottom too.
Chicago Rilla. I'm coming to Chicago to approach this to the YN. I'm taking over Chicago. We're gonna turn them to kings.
Real quick, Hakeem, tell people about this book really quickly.
So for a lot of people who don't know this, and I want y'all to hear, you know what I mean? I've been a stepfather before. I've been an uncle to young men. I volunteer for at-risk. Oh, Joanna Kavinga, RB. So there's some insights I have on how to raise boys that I see that can work, from facing adversity with courage. And then this is just talking about different perspectives, and I just insightfully want to try to empower young black men. Things that I've went through as a kid, me being blessed to have a father, the things my dad has taught me, things I picked up along the way. And I think that this was more than just a passion project, because I care about young black men, because we need black men to be husbands to these black women we have to be the next leaders, and we have to start young. We can't worry about the older ones because they're already done. It's the ones that are young and up that we can help. So, you know, man, I wrote this for that particular reason.
Awesome. Hi, King. Can you highlight King Mimi's comment so people could go and check it out? So, guys, if y'all want more information on how you can participate for the Battle of the Sexes 2, the first one was dope. Me, Hakeem, Jordan, we was on it. Really, really dope. This one's going to be live and personal. So, guys, if you want to go and check it out, there is the information right below us. So go and check it out. It's really, really dope. And also make sure you go check out the trivia game that they already have posted right now at this very moment. So shout out to Mimi, shout out to the Shiesty Avengers. They're over there doing their thing, and they always holding us down. We make sure to hold them down as well. Guys, also make sure to go check out Broadway's Fat album as well. It's also in the community tab. So go check it out. I have the album here, personally signed by Hakeem. Jordan have his copy as well. Here, we holding it down. Like I told Hakeem, we're gonna make him the biggest. We're gonna make him the biggest artist in the biggest everything.
And listen, and we all gonna be the biggest podcasters in the world.
Yeah, on the planet. You know what I'm saying? Not in the world, on the planet. You know what I'm saying?
In Chicago,
you know
I'm gonna pull up to Chicago because it's time for us to come there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll come to Chicago. We'll definitely come to Chicago. And now that also by King, also his other book, Black Love, is also in the community tab as well. So guys, go check it out. Support the author, support the brother. Let's make him the biggest thing on the planet. Now that, but shout out to Jordan as well, always coming through, always holding us down too as well. You know, Jordan's right here. So, you know, Jordan be doing all he be doing the topic. There's a lot of people don't understand. To be the biggest thing on the planet, you need a team. And we have our team and we holding it down. Shout out to our team. Like always, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in to KL Culture Radio First Start Monday. We'll be back